It seems as though the tales of Nintendo's demise have been greatly exaggerated. The Switch delighted gamers all throughout 2017, bookending the year with 2 Game of the Year candidates, and it looks like the good times just keep on coming in 2018. Celeste is one of the finest platformers to release in recent years, and certainly one of the best games out on the Switch in this early part of 2018. It's a brutal yet rewarding platformer that challenges players to think 3 steps ahead at all times, and it also manages to convey a compelling narrative along the way too. This makes you feel all the more guilty whenever you die in the campaign, and that's something that's gonna happen a lot. This time jump? Death. Unexpected hazard falling from above? Death. Forgot to tie your shoelace or something? Death! Luckily, the instant respawn system puts you straight back into the action immediately, allowing you to get just that little bit closer each time. The platforming is satisfying and nothing ever feels quite out of reach. You'll have a few hiccups here and there as you learn the nuances of each new section, but you won't want to rage quit outright. Owlboy is similar to Celeste in a lot of ways. It's a pixelated platformer that embraces vertical level design. It's also really, really, really good. One of the indie darlings of the last few years, Owlboy finally made its way to a Nintendo console in 2018, and it was definitely worth the wait. Unlike Celeste, Owlboy's protagonist Otis is more than capable of mixing it up in combat, so gameplay isn't strictly about platforming. Otis recruits allies during his adventures that will assist him in different ways, utilizing unique weapons and techniques. And on the story front, just like Celeste, there's a narrative here that's much deeper than it seems at first glance when you read between the lines. The Switch has become a haven for indie platformers, and anyone who's a fan of classic 2D Nintendo games like Kid Icarus should definitely give Owlboy a look. I'll be waiting for you. Get it? Owl? Hilarious! The Switch has really benefited from some great ports to get them through the first quarter, and Bayonetta is a prime example of that. Not much really needs to be said about one of the classic games from the previous generation. In preparation for Bayonetta 3, both Bayonetta 1 and 2 were released for the Switch back in February. It was kind of a 2-for-1 deal, so we're applying that same logic here. Both games are all about taking down some demons, either blowing them to smithereens with guns, or just by kicking them right in their evil face in the most flashy, sexual, and over-the-top way as possible. You can equip a number of absurd weapons all at once and just have a blast tearing up swaths of baddies. If you're after something with a little bit more AAA flavor than the rest of the games on this list, you can't go wrong with a Bayonetta Switch combo pack. And hey, she even cosplays as scantily clad versions of your favorite Nintendo characters. That'll be both fun to watch and awkward to explain to your mother. The mega hit indie title arrives on the Switch at last. In fact, Night in the Woods took home honors for the top indie game of 2017 in the Twinfinite Awards. It's a terrific story-driven adventure game that follows the anthropomorphic cat May as she unravels a mystery that reveals some pretty dark stuff about her hometown. Saying anything more about the narrative would ruin all the fun of the game, but if you're keen to get a little bit more detail without spoiling too much, you can find the full review on twinfinite.net. Don't worry, we got you back. The story and characters are superbly written, and after completion, you'll willingly throw yourself down the rabbit hole, reading up on fan theories and interpretations on the plot. Plus, she's just so cute. So cute. Yet another quality indie Switch port for you to take with you on the go. Darkest Dungeon is a turn-based RPG for the strategy buffs out there. You'll have to micromanage a group of up to 25 members among the 15 character classes through a series of treacherous areas and dungeons. In addition to bringing in the appropriate party composition, members can be afflicted with stress, which affects their ability to be successful in combat. Should their stress levels go unchecked, they will literally have a heart attack and die. That's not going to be great for team morale. So you'll have to make sure you're spreading the work around and not relying on one unit so much that you break them down physically and mentally. Each character needs to be kept fed, healthy, and willing to prevent your party from falling apart at the seams facing the nightmares ahead. Darkest Dungeon is a deep and challenging strategy RPG that's dripping with a tense and frightening atmosphere and will terrify and delight you at every turn. For more Nintendo Switch news and opinions, as well as our top Q1 games for PS4 and Xbox One, make sure to catch all the fun at twinfinite.net.